On the news tonight, Anambra Deputy Governor Ibezim urges traditional rulers to be agents of peace in their communities. Anambra government distributes life jackets to residents of Ayamelum Council area. Federal government flags a regional dialogue on establishment of technology centers for global competitiveness. Germany calls for sanctions over violence crackdown. Before the news in detail, here is a special message. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come for a total turnaround the maintenance of the Anambra State economy and promotion of core Igbo values. Let's give him maximum support for the task ahead. Good evening and welcome to the evening news on ABS television. I am Priska Wanko. Anambra State Deputy Governor Dr. Onyekachukwu Ibezim has asked traditional rulers in the state to be agents of peace in the various communities for all-round development of the communities and the state in general. Deputy Governor Ibezim made the call during the coronation ceremony of the new traditional ruler of Amansi community in Awka North local government area, Igwe Peter Anibogo. Government House correspondent Emmanuel Okonkwo has the details.
Dr. Ibezim, who described peace as paramount in any society, explained that peace attracts progress and development where it reigns and protects the society from external forces. The Deputy Governor reminded the traditional ruler of Amansi, Igwe Anibogo, that the debt he is owing the state government and the people of Amansi is to enthrone peace and unity in the community, no matter the cost, and encouraged the people to give Igwe Anibogo their unalloyed support to make his reign worthwhile.
This your youthfulness. Only working you can only 12 hours, Igwe, he has 24 hours. I have 24 hours. Etuara no biera. No I kuzi besa okeji yegwe amase eji yegwe. Ana ufala mumeto sieme amamia. Aya abutamu oguni na dia la manse. Wena tive dia manse umo kola bia wena. Ari bunuja. Ibe sei ke abia yo kuza na kele. Na go munu go fo.
Earlier, Igwe Anibogo thanked God for giving him the opportunity to serve Amansi people and promised his subjects peaceful and progressive reign. From Amansi community in Awka North local government area, I am Emmanuel Okonkwo, reporting for ABS News.
Anambra State government has distributed life jackets to residents of Ayamelum local government area displaced by flooding to safeguard their lives. The Speaker of Anambra State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Uche Okafo, who presented the life jackets to the affected persons for Governor Chukwuma Soludo, also donated speedboats to the people to alleviate their sufferings. House of Assembly correspondent Chukwemeka Modelim completes the story.
Right Honorable Okafor kept the items under the custody of the councillor representing Anak Ward, Mr. Samuel Genika, after he flagged off the boat he donated to the people at Anako for use. The Speaker explained that the boat will serve the people free of cost and advised all boat operators in Ayamelum to always adhere to safety measures of wearing life jackets, stop overloading, and to ensure all their passengers put on life jackets before setting out on any journey. The Speaker and his team chased away toll collectors at takeoff point in Anako and ensured other commercial boat operators in the area reduced the fare they collect from passengers to pass them through the flood to their various destinations. Right Honorable Okafor, who is also the member representing Ayamelum constituency, commended Governor Soludo for all the support he has been giving his constituents displaced by flood, maintained that Anambra State and federal governments are doing everything possible to ensure that lives are protected.
That's the boats that I donated to them, and those are the passengers. Prior to now, people travel on these boats without life jackets, which is very, very risky. Anything can happen while they're in the river, and that is one thing we don't want to happen. And that was why His Excellency made sure that these life jackets are being distributed to these affected areas through SEMA. And as you can see, the boat there is the boat that are donated to my people. More are coming.
In his speech, a boat operator in the area and a beneficiary of the life jacket, Mr. Emerson Ofodile, expressed gratitude to Anambra State government, saying that the gesture will go a long way in saving the lives of residents of Ayamelum.
Life jacket very important. So
Chukwuemeka Modelem, ABS News.
The Anambra State Erosion and Watershed Climate Change Agency, ANSERCA, is seeking partnership with the Anambra State Association of Town Unions, ASATU, to strengthen the fight against environmental hazards in the state. ANSERCA stated this on making a presentation before the ASATU General Assembly in Awka. Correspondent Blessing Uchendo has the details.
The Anambra State Erosion and Watershed Climate Change Agency, ANSWICA, is set up by the present administration in the state to look into erosion menace in Anambra, as well as draw public attention to the need to adopt environment-friendly practices in order to curb climate challenges facing the state. The delegation, led by the project coordinator and chief executive officer of ANSWICA, Professor Philip Phil Eze, said that they want to partner with all the presidents general in the state to help them spread the message regarding erosion and its management to all the nooks and crannies of the state, while regretting the enormous damage already caused by climate change in Nigeria, especially in the southeast geopolitical zone. Professor Philip Phil Eze called on the people to take charge of the environment and always adhere to environmental laws. He further noted that they would develop erosion and environmental bylaws to be in tandem with the state environmental laws, but domesticated at community levels. He noted that each community in Anambra State will have erosion committee in order to be in the vanguard of environmental protection, adding that ASATU will equally set up a steering committee on erosion control that will work with them directly in order to achieve Governor Chukwuma Soludo's vision of making Anambra environment cleaner, greener, and planned.
World Bank and Anambra State and other states like Nigeria, Ipochi, erosion area. When I look at Anambra State, we are more than 1,000 erosion sites. Get going back. How can you do it? When I World Bank where that's not a thing that I think. 1.3%.
Welcoming the delegation, the national president of ASATU, Barrister Titus Abudo, who commended the initiative of the agency to rise up when it matters most, said that with their plans to collaborate with the PGs, communities would be properly engaged and promised them maximum support and collaboration.
Thank the state government and also office for the time if Anambra State the claim and David purposes were. The issue of cooperation and partnership, you get 100%.
In Awka, Blessing Uchendo, ABS News.
Nigerian Medical Association, NMA Anambra State Branch, has offered free medical treatment to over 600 internally displaced persons who are currently camped at Unity Hall Holding Center, Umweri, Anambra East Council area. Members of the association, led by their chairman, Dr. Jade Ezono, also presented other relief materials to the flood-affected persons, which include cartons of soap, indomie, beverages, milk, bags of sachet water, and clothes, among other things. Staff reporter Njideka Okoye covered the visit and now reports.
The internally displaced persons were from Nzam, Orometiti Anam, Miata Anam, Umeze Anam, Inoma, Okwala, all the communities of Orumbanasa and others in Anambra West. They were diagnosed of different illnesses and treated free of cost by the NMA. Speaking after the exercise, the NMA's chairman, Anambra State, Dr. Ezeonu, said that the essence of their visit was to see the people, provide clinical services to them, and also gift them with welfare packages to ensure that they do not lack basic needs, especially health care, while in camp. Dr. Ezeonu, who advised them to follow up on the medical care given to them, said that they observed new cases of hypertension and anxiety-related conditions. The NMA branch chairman commended the state government for their interventions and advocated urgent attention to find out lasting solution as people were almost overcrowded at the center, while the secretary of the association, Dr. Frank Ifaneme, thanked the state government for providing them with basic needs and volunteer doctors for their services.
My message to them basically is for them to be consoled. We know things like this come up, and then especially for those who have some ailments, some of them we've seen them and we have referred them. So the message is that they will continue to follow up on the medical care we initiated today. So we are basically here to attend to their health needs, and we also came with a small welfare package which we have also given them to make sure that while they are here, they don't lack some basic needs, especially basic health care.
We came and we found out that people are really suffering here. Although we thank the state government for the effort they've done so far in bringing them together and feeding them and giving them basic needs like food, mosquito nets, those ones were provided by the state government. We encourage them. It's not a permanent issue. It's just within a short time, everything will be over. We just want to encourage them to keep on believing in God, knowing that the state government and even the citizens of Anambra State are looking out for their welfare, and we contribute their own quota to make sure that they are comfortable as much as possible.
Receiving the items, the welfare officer in charge of the holding center, Mrs. Maureen Nwakasi, who noted that they have over 600 internally displaced persons at the holding center, thanked the Nigerian Medical Association, Anambra State, for providing them with health services, including drugs and other materials, and appreciated the state government for caring for them and visiting them always.
Ọ dị mma maka na ọ dịrị izi na ihe agbapụtara na emergency ka esi wee gbapụta ya gọọmenti na try gọvanọ abịago ebe a deputy gọvanọ abịago even ndị na represent anyị bụ the constituency anyị bụ East and West Honorable Chiedu Obidigo ọ bịago ebe a bịa netesi efa ụdị aka many people si abịa na nligodo ha nwere nsogbu and ndị nọ n'ebe a dị from 600 to 700 persons.
In their separate species, some of the affected persons, Messrs. John Ifatu, Obiora Akpe, Anthony Ilegbune, Mrs. Adoba Aniweta, and Nwodu Obidigwe, who narrated their ordeals, regretted that their children could no longer go to school, their means of livelihood and houses underwater, and called on the government to come to their aid for them to start life afresh. Handing over of the relief materials to the IDPs formed the high point of the visit. From Unity Hall, Umueri, Njideka Okoye, ABS News.
The federal government has flagged off regional dialogue on the establishment and implementation of technology and innovation centers for global competitiveness and productivity. The project, titled Achieving Nigeria's Competitiveness and Improved Foreign Exchange Earnings Through Science, Technology and Innovation, is to be carried out by the Strategy Implementation Task Office for Presidential Executive Order No. 5. Princess Ekwi Ajide tells us more.
Flag off in Abuja started with the North Central Zone and will head to the Southeast Zone on the 13th of October in Enugu, Southwest on 27th October to be followed by other zones. Flagging off the zonal dialogue, the Minister of State for Science, Technology and Innovation, Chief Henry Ko, said the federal government will establish 6 Technology Innovation Centers, TICs, to assist in closing the gap presently existing, even though a lot of research is taking place in Nigeria through the use of Science, Technology and Innovation STI. Chief Iko, represented by the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry, Mrs. Manilola Udo, said the establishment of the TICs are necessitated by the dire need to close gap as many research works in Nigeria are happening in silos, hence they are needed as part of the requirements for the full implementation of Presidential Executive Order number 005. According to him, the Executive Order number 005 is aimed at placing Nigerian professionals and manufacturers at the center of the nation's economy, and the other is the sole instrument of the present administration that can midwife a resonance to transform the economy from resource-based to knowledge-based. He said the centers would serve as media for the presentation and analysis of research findings and results for possible patenting and commercialization, especially as there is a need to continue to improve on the business, industry and service-driven research and development capacity and capability of the country.
My strong belief that at the end of this dialogue, in the 6 geopolitical zones, the stakeholders will be able to come up with a strategy that will ensure that the technology and innovation centers will produce tech giants, effectively encourage peer review of researchers, to promote learning of new approaches to research through interaction.
Earlier, the Commissioner, Tertiary Education, Science and Technology, Niger State, Professor Abubakar Aliyu, lauded the STI initiatives of the Federal Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation, as according to him, without STI, Nigeria is dead. Hence, a lot still has to be done, while the Director of the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, UNESCO, Abuja Regional Office, Dr. Dimitri Sanga, represented by the National Professional Officer, Science, UNESCO, Dr. Moma Enam, promised that the organization is ready to support the ministry achieve better STI in the country.
Why and how we need STI. So when he was talking that yesterday, I now discovered that, okay, that is about 50% solved, the problem. We have identified and then underline why and where and what STI is to us as a country. If we want to go anywhere, if we want to move, without STI, Nigeria is dead.
Made to know is about improving Nigerians' competitiveness, through earning foreign exchange and using STI as the driver of that process. And really, we are in support of this.
The National Coordinator of the Strategy Implementation Task Office for Presidential Executive Order number 005, Engineer Ibiam Ogwejofo, applauded the contributions of STI as an indispensable part of everyday life, saying that it is the only way Nigeria can grow and move from consumption to production, from a resource-based economy to a knowledge-based economy. In Abuja, Princess Ekwi Ajide.
Germany's Foreign Minister Annalena Baerbock has called for action against those responsible for the violent crackdown on protests in Iran. Annalena Baerbock said Germany would ensure the European Union froze assets and imposed entry bans. EU foreign ministers are expected to decide on sanctions on 17th October, according to Reuters news agency. Speaking to a German newspaper, Baerbock also criticized those who condemn to death people who want nothing other than to live free. The proposed sanctions come after the death of Mahsa Amini sparked demonstrations throughout the country. Dozens of Iranians have lost their lives after taking to the streets to protest Mahsa Amini's death. Iran state media say 20 members of the Islamic Revolution Guard. Sports. In preparation for their 2023 Africa Under-23 Cup of Nations qualifying fixture against Tanzania this month, the Nigeria Under-23 team will begin camping in Ibadan today. The Nigerian Football Federation, NFF, has announced that 32 players have been invited to the camp by coach Salisu Yusuf, which will later prune the squad down to a final squad, which will depart the country on October 18 for Dar es Salaam. The first leg of the Olympics qualifier will hold in the East African country in the weekend, October 21 to 23. Among the 32 players expected to camp in Ibadan are 4 goalkeepers, including Kayode Bankole, Remo Stars, Nathaniel Nwosu, Water FC, Edwin Emelin, Calabar Rovers, and Ahmed John, Buster Boss FC. There are 8 defenders in the team, among whom are Bamai Kalocho, Yum Yum FC, Bello Babatunde, Aqua United, James Ajako, Aqua United, Yazid Adamu, MY Jamil FC, Tosin Adebite, Enyimba FC, Christopher Nwenze, Plateau United, Isaiah Eje, Kwara United, and Anas Hassan, Vandrezer FC. Remember, you can follow ABS in many parts of the world by liking our Facebook page at ABS Radio Television. Subscribe to our YouTube page at ABS Television or follow us on Instagram at ABS Radio TV. Log on to our website www.absradiotv.com. To end the news this evening, a recap of the main points. Deputy Governor Ibezim has urged traditional rulers to be agents of peace in their communities. Anambra government has distributed life jackets to residents of Ayamelum Council area. Federal government has flagged the regional dialogue and establishment of technology centers for global competitiveness. Germany has called for sanctions over violent crackdown. Here is the special message. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come for a total turnaround the maintenance of the Anambra State economy, promotion of core Igbo values. Let us give him maximum support for the task ahead. And that ends the evening news on ABS Television at this time. Thanks for watching. I am Friska Honko. Good evening and have a wonderful night rest.